So we're still using and we are still using or. If we have the word or going on, what is your graph going to end up looking like with your two inequalities? They're going to be going opposite directions. They're going to be going away from each other. Okay, so if we have the word or, there we go, going on, they're going to be bouncing away from each other. They might have the closed open thing has nothing to do with the word and or. Do we agree? The closed and open all depends on the actual sign. The less than or equal to, greater than or equal to gets closed. Just a less than or just a greater than, it's going to stay open. If we have the word and, what are their inequalities going to do? Yeah, they're going to intersect each other. They're going to overlap. There's just going to be one segment in between them. Bless you. Okay? Because they ended up overlapping each other at some point, right? So that part where they overlap, that's the part that we graph. Okay? So ands have overlaps. Ors go opposite direction. Or and opposite have O's, if that helps at all. So this or that, it can be a solution to just one piece or both pieces. If it's and, the x value that we're using has to be a solution to both pieces. That's why the overlap is the solution. Has to work for both. Okay? Today we're leveling up because it's not just given to you. Now we have to solve for our variable before we can actually graph it on our numbered lines. Okay? So with number one, looking at it, we see the word or, don't we? So in my head, I can go ahead and visualize. We're going to be bouncing away from or opposite. We are going to go opposite directions. Okay? Where it's happening, we're not quite sure. We technically have two different equations to solve for. We have m minus 2 is less than negative 8. Okay? Or m divided by 8 is greater than 1. These are two separate equations. Okay. So on this side, where we have m minus 2 is less than negative 8. If that said equal to, how would you get m by itself? There's a minus 2 attached to it, so what am I going to do with it? We're going to add 2 over. So now it becomes m. This is now a negative 6. Does my sign stay the same, or does it flip? It stays the same. When would it flip in the future?
If you divide it.
There you go. You're going to flip sign if you multiply or divide by a negative number. Okay, so that's the only time we're going to flip. So it definitely is going to happen today. Adding or subtracting is not going to do it. If we are multiplying or dividing, pay attention. If we're moving a negative to the other side, that is when we're going to flip our sign. All right, so for the case of number one, so far flipping is not a thing, but I have one piece. I have m is less than negative 6. That's going to be an open circle, and my arrow is pointing to go to the left. So I can find negative 6, which is about right here, and it's going to go down. All right, my other side, we have m divided by 8 is greater than 1. So if m is being divided by 8, how are we going to move the 8 over? By multiplying. Good. Okay, so we've moved it away. It's gone. M is left by itself. Now I multiplied. Did I multiply by a negative number? No. So my sign stays the same. 1 times 8 is 8. Here's our other piece. Greater than is going to give me an open circle, and my arrow is pointing this direction. So here is 8 going up. Yeah, this is or. Yep. Boop. Any questions for me? No. Okay. Then let's try another one. Let's do number 3. So we have 2x is less than 10, or we have x divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 3. Is it going to be an and or an or? It literally says or. So does that mean they're going to intersect or go opposite? Opposite. So we can picture it in my head. They should be going this way. So if I go to graph it and they're not, that's a way we can check ourselves and be like, hold on, they were supposed to bounce away. Let's go back. Okay. We have 2 equations. We have 2x is less than 10. And we have x divided by 2 is greater than or equal to 3. 2 separate pieces we're going to solve for. For 2x is less than 10, how are we going to get that x by itself? So is 2 being, it's okay, is 2 being added to the x right now? No, how is 2 attached to the x? It's being multiplied. So to undo that, we're going to divide it. Do we flip the sign? That's a good question. No, how come? Good. We divided a positive. We did not divide a negative. So my sign is going to stay the same. So here's one of them. Is our dot for 5 going to be open or closed? It's going to be open. And it's going to go to the left. Yep. All right. So where is it? Here is 5. And we going down. All right, my other guy. X over 2 is greater than or equal to 3. What do you think?
It could be greater than or equal.
How do you want to move that 2? What do y'all think? We're already dividing, so this time we're going to multiply. Good. Did I multiply by a positive or negative number? Positive. So am I going to flip my sign? No. So x is greater than or equal. That gives me 6. All right, so is 6 going to have a closed or open dot? And it's going to go to the right. So does my graph make sense? Yes, we predicted this was going to happen, and it did. All right, so 1 and 3 were kind of nice. They were already set up as 2 different equations, right? Even number 4 is nice because it uses the word and. It shows you the 2 different equations to solve for. Then you got things like 2, 5, the other page has it, yeah, 10. See how there's not and or? It's just written as one piece. So we know which one they're referring to, right? If it's in the middle, it's going to be intersecting, which is going to be my and. So I know what it's going to look like. They're going to overlap. They have given me 2 different equations, okay? We have p divided by 2 is greater than or equal to negative 3, and we have p over 2 is less than 0. So I broke it apart. See in the middle right here? The alligator that's attached to the negative 3 is eating the fraction. Do we see that? So when I put my fraction first, I made sure my alligator was still eating it. We go with that? Okay, I flipped them. I flipped their order. I want my variable to be first. So if I flip the order, I need to flip my sign. And then my last 2, I didn't change anything. It's just still p over 2 is less than 0. Okay? Look at the symbols. They're kind of pointing at each other, aren't they? So that should make sense. They should overlap each other. P divided by 2. How am I going to get rid of that 2? Multiply. Is my sign going to flip? Did I multiply by a positive or a negative? I multiplied by positive 2. So that negative 3 is just a number. It's not going to change anything. It's all about what you're moving. We moved to positive 2, so my sign's going to stay. So P is greater than or equal to negative 6.
It's closed.
Yep. It's closed and it's going up, right? -6 this way. Yeah, to the right, sorry. And then my other one, how are we going to get, and so what's nice about these also is your first step's going to be the same because you're using that same middle piece. So P divided by 2 again. How do I get rid of the 2? Multiply.
Is 0.
P is less than 0. Open or closed?
Open.
Open, and it's going to go down. So look at that. So here's open, and it's going down. So do I have to show all of that? What's the only part that we actually care about? Yeah, all we really care about is where they meet in the middle, right? So where they meet in the middle. Okay. When the variable is first, that's when we can use our symbols to show me which way that we're going. Yeah? Okay. So if you're kind of doing both at the same time, number 5 can now help you with number 2. All right. All right, I'm going to move down here to number 7. 7v minus 5 is greater than or equal to 65, or 3v minus 2 is greater than or equal to -2. Yep. Are these going to overlap each other, or are they going to go opposite directions? They're going to go opposite directions. Good. So our first equation is 7v minus 5 is greater than or equal to 65. How are we going to get that v by itself? Add 5 over. And then, yep, so we have greater than or equal to 70. Yep, and then we're going to divide by 7. Is my symbol going to flip? Nope. So we have v is greater than or equal to 10. That's going to be closed, right? And go to the right. So 10 and this way. All right, our other guy, we have -3v minus 2 is greater than or equal to -2. Add the 2. Yep. Hold on. We have -3v. We will divide by -3. Is greater than or equal. What's -2 plus 2? 0. And then we are going to divide by -3. Oh, here it is. I told you it was going to happen. We finally divided by a negative number, right? We should flip it. Watch what happens if we don't. If we don't flip it, so don't write this down. If we did not flip it and we kept it the way it was, see how both of my symbols are going the same way? That's wrong, because then I have that doesn't make sense. Okay? That wouldn't make sense for us. That's not what we're doing. Could it happen in the future? Possibly, yes. But today we are doing intersect or opposite. Okay? So that should give you another heads up. You done messed up. Okay? So because we divided by a negative number, our sign's going to flip. V is now less than or equal to 0. So that should give me a solid circle. And it should go to the left. Solid circle to the left, like that. Questions? Do we feel okay about it? Ish? Okay, good. Good. So that whole solving equations unit that we did at the very end of last semester, we're still using it. We're still trying to get our variables by themselves. Woohoo! you're building on your foundational skills. See how that works? It's always good. All right, ready to move on to page 2? You know, we have to make it more fun. Okay, we have -1 plus 5n is greater than -26, and we have 7n minus 2 is less than or equal to 12. Okay, what word do you see? We see and. So what visual can you go ahead and picture? They're going to intersect with each other. Okay, they have written it nicely as 2 separate equations. I'm going to let you try this one. Okay, I think it's time. We've done what, 4 together? Yeah. I think it's time for you to try one. So you try this guy. Hey, if you're sitting with a partner, or if you want to just find someone close to you, I have some singletons in here. If you want to do one piece and your partner do the other piece, you can do that, and then you can put your answers together. All right? So go ahead and work on number 9. All right, lovelies? When you're ready, look up. If you're not ready, don't look up. Okay? If you're ready to check your work, the answer is up there. If you're still working, keep working. If you looked at it and you're good, go ahead and try number 11. Okay? But if you got questions, ask me. Did it throw you off that -1 was first by any chance? That was okay? Okay. So because it's a -1, you have to add it to the other side. Why did our sign not flip with the red side? Because I have negative numbers over there. How come my sign didn't flip? Good. I did not divide it by a negative number. If my sign flipped, they wouldn't overlap anymore either. They would be going the same direction. We're good? Yeah? Okay. If you're good with 9, I want you to go ahead and try 11. Remember, if you got a partner next to you, have them do one and you do the other. So 8x plus 8 greater than or equal to -64. We're going to subtract that 8 over. That gives me -72. Then we divide by 8, which is a positive number, so we're not flipping it. But we are going to be equal to -9. So we are x is greater than or equal to -9. That's a closed dot going to the right. And then on my other side, we have -7 minus 8x is greater than or equal to -79. Did anybody notice that at the beginning, both signs were pointing the same way? Okay, so that's odd. And did you notice the word and? So they should intersect, right? So in the beginning, you should be, okay, one of these signs needs to flip. Because right now, they're both going to the right. Okay? So that should be something you have. One of these signs needs to flip. So my first one didn't, so this one better. I'm going to add 7 over. I get -8x is greater than or equal to, what's -79 plus 7? -72. And then here, we're going to divide by -8. There it is. When we divide by a negative number, our sign is going to flip. So now we have x is less than or equal to -72 divided by -8 is going to be +9. So here's my closed dot, because we're equal to, and we're going to the left of +9. So my solution set is meeting in between -9 and +9. And they're not marked, but so you're gonna be okay though. Closed dot right here. 8, 9 in the middle. That's this whole number line. There we go. Bonus question from yesterday. How many solutions are in between -9 and +9? How many? Infinitely many. Just drop your foot.
Oh, it's over here.
Where?
What?
got it. It's on my shoe. I got it. All right, we good? No? Do you have questions on number 11? No? Okay. So yes, let's do 13 together because 13 is different. We've done one like this, but it is time to do another one. So, kind of. So we still have to make two different equations. Because that piece is in the middle, what was I going to say? Oh, is it and or is it or? Look, I have one variable in the middle. And, right? And shows in the middle. When they overlap each other in the middle of my two numbers, it is literally in between two different numbers. This is going to be an and. Okay? Are you comfortable with me showing you a different way of doing these than we did before? Sure. So what happened up here is I split it up into two different equations. Okay? We don't have to do that. Okay? What I could also do, so if this is going to confuse you, ignore me for a second. But people like to have options. I'm going to give you options. I have negative 36, right? Less than 3p minus 6 less than negative 15. So I need to add 6, right? We're trying to get the p in the middle by itself. But see how I have a number on both sides? So when I add 6, I'm going to add it to both sides. We have a beginning point and an end point. They both get the plus 6. So that moves it out of the middle, and it moves it to both ends of my number line. So this side is now negative 30. And this side is now what? Was that negative 9? Yeah. Now I have a 3p in the middle. How can I move that 3? I would divide it by 3, right? I'm going to do it to everything. I did not divide by a negative number. My signs are going to stay the same. Negative 30 divided by 3 is negative 10. P is by itself. Negative 9 divided by 3 is negative 3. So my solution is in between negative 10 and negative 3. Okay. Nope. They're both open, right? Negative 10, negative 3, right? My P is bigger than negative 10, but smaller than negative 2. So it's in between them. Right. Some people like this way. Some people do not like this way. That's why I like to give y'all options. You pick which way you want to do it. Okay? If you're like, Ms. Douglas, I'm not a fan, then you would split it up into two different equations. Okay? Number 10. Nope, that's an and. So yeah, you can work number 10 the way I just did 13. Subtract 6 from both numbers. Divide 7 from both numbers. Okay?
So we're just applying that to number 15.
15. 15's an or. Yep. Does anybody need to see the other strategy for number 13? We're okay? Okay. I personally like this way, but not everybody does. All right, 15. 3n plus 2 is less than, negative 2 plus 7n. We're getting fancy. Or we have 8n minus 4 is less than or equal to 3n minus 4. Okay? We have two equations. Are they going to intersect in the middle, or are they going to go opposite directions? How do you know? Because of the word or. So they're going to bounce away from each other. Okay? First off, we have 3n plus 2 is less than negative 2 plus 7n. How is this different? How do we level up? we have two variables, right? So we got to get the variables on one side and get my constants on the other. Okay, we've done this before. We can do it again. Okay, let's move my variables. We love our variables to be on the left, so let's go ahead and subtract this guy over here. 3 minus 7 is -4. We still have +2 is less than -2. I'm going to move my constant over. So right now it's a +2, so I'm going to subtract it to the other side. That gives me -4n. It's actually going to give me -4. Yep. And then we need to divide by -4. Bells go off. What's happening? We're dividing by a negative number, right? So this becomes n is greater than +1. So this one we divided by a negative. So my sign flipped. That's going to be open, and it's going to go to the right. All right. Our second equation, our inequality, is going to be 8n minus 4 less than or equal to 3n minus 4. Tell me what to do first. Subtract the 3n. Good. Bring my variables over to the front. 8 minus 3 leaves me with 5. Everything else is the same. Now what are we going to move? The -4. How am I going to move it? We're going to add it. So now I have 5n is less than or equal to what? There we go. That is 0. How am I going to get rid of that 5, Xavier? You missed my lovely speech yesterday. Put it away. How are we going to move that 5, friends? Divide it. Is my sign going to flip like the other one? No, we did not divide by a negative, so it stays. This is going to be a closed dot, right? And we're going to go to the left. Good, because I went to the right, I would overlap. So I better go to the left. Boop. Good. So a little bit more work to do with this one, but still, this is nothing brand new. None of what we're doing today is brand new. It's a bunch of things we've already done kind of put together. All right, last one with me. Here we go. Are these two going to meet in the middle, or are they going to bounce away? They're going to bounce away. Hannah, how do I know they're going to bounce away?
Because they're like that.
For number 17, how do I know they're going to bounce away from each other?
Oh, my bad. I was looking at 16. I'm at 15.
Okay. How do I know 17 is going to bounce away from each other?
Because, I don't know.
Oh, look at it. What's the one word that's there to help me out? Or. So this word right here tells me they're going to bounce away from each other. All right. Here we go. 5x minus 5 greater than -7x minus 5. What can we do first?
Combine or subtract the 7x.
Okay. Careful, because 7 is already minus, so we're going to add it this time. That's a little different from the problem before. This one's already negative, so yeah, we're going to add it over. Nope. Because now we're adding. So 5 plus 7 is 12. All right, now what should we do? Add my 5. So we get 12x, yep, is greater than what? What's -5 plus 5? 0. Last step, divide by 12, and 0 divided by 12 is just 0. Does my sign flip? No, we divided by positive 12, so we're fine. Is 0 going to get a closed or open dot? Open, and we're going to go to the right. So open and this way. All right, and my other equation, we have 3x plus 5 is less than or equal to x minus 1.
Would it be 4x?
No. How come? Anybody? What can we do first? Yeah, but you're moving it over. So yeah, there is a 1 right here, but when I move it over, we are subtracting it. Yeah. So you're not wrong. There is a 1 there, but it's 3 minus 1, which gives me 2. 2x plus 5 less than or equal to negative 1. Now what? There you go. Subtract 5. So we have 2x is less than or equal, what's negative 1 minus 5? There you go. Good. And then my last step, I'm going to kind of go over here. We have this. How am I going to move that 2? We're going to divide by 2. Is my sign going to flip? No, because 2 was a positive number. So what is negative 2 divide? I'm sorry. What is negative 6 divided by positive 2? Negative 3. So is negative 3 going to be open or closed? Going to be closed. And what direction are we going to go? To the left. Here we go. Closed and to the left. All right. So those are all the odds. You are going to continue working on the evens. A lot of you are doing it at the same time you were doing notes. Wonderful. If you didn't, that's perfectly fine too. But now you are responsible for the evens. We are going to check them tomorrow when we walk in, and you will turn them in. So get your evens done.